The advice I would give to not only a baking and pastry student, but a student of any craft is find out what you want to do. Well, first I would say find yourself. Be self-aware of what your goals look like. Be self-aware of where you see yourself in 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. First figure, or have an idea. You don't have to figure it all out at once, but figure out where you want to go and start. The thing is to start, have momentum in whatever you do. That's the first thing. Secondly, I would say research. Research is important no matter what you're doing. Research where you're going, who you're working for, your bosses. Everything's online these days, so definitely do your research. Know what you're getting into, because like I said, expectations are the key. If you know you're going into a high-end establishment where everybody's on their top-notch game, you will want to be the exact same way. So knowing that from the jump will set you up to really make conscious and subconscious moves to where you're in line with what you want to do in life, with your goals and everything you want to do.
Advice, I guess, just learn everything you can from the people around you. One thing that I didn't do so much in the beginning, but then quickly started to do as I gained more experience, was just start talking to the people who I worked for. And when I started out, chefs were really intimidating, so I didn't always feel comfortable doing that. But the more questions I asked, the more they saw that I was invested in the process and that I cared about what was happening. And people are always willing to teach you when you show, that you really care about how things are done and getting the quality to translate because you understand it.
Continuously try new things. There's not ever one way to make a dish. As much as someone may preach that there is only one way to make a dish, there is not. I think that throughout my times of talking to different chefs and people who have built recipes for fried chicken, I've almost never heard the same recipe. And I'd run different parts of those recipes back to the other ones, and they had never heard these techniques before. So you can always think outside of the box with this. Just continuously break barriers and break molds. There's never one right. There's really not just one right answer with anything in culinary, which is continuously what makes it exciting. Another thing I would recommend is talk to the people in the industry. If there are restaurants that you like to go to, don't be nervous about picking their brains, because they will give you more information than you would ever think that they could. I remember being so nervous to ask some other food truck owners about what it was like, and when I finally got the guts to ask these guys and have these conversations, they gave me more information than I ever expected that they would, and I would not be able to be here without that information. If that even means picking up a side gig and doing dishes at a restaurant when you're already getting paid more at a different job, trust me, pick it up. I was getting $17 an hour at Best Buy. Then I started taking $12 an hour to wash dishes at a local restaurant, but I did it just for the experience, and everything that I learned doing that was way more costly to me than the $17 Best Buy was going to give me per hour. Knowledge is power, and any chance you have to get some knowledge from someone, take that opportunity.
Advice I'd give to someone that's interested in the industry would be to come in open-minded and to be able to accept constructive criticism from guests and from your supervisors. It's really important that we learn from those who are very knowledgeable already in the industry, and to be able to learn from what they are able to teach you. Those who are in supervisor positions tend to lead by example, and you're always able to learn from them, and that's the advice that I would give to someone who's interested in the industry.
The advice I would give to anyone on the high school level is it's a phenomenal industry with a lot of opportunity. There's a trajectory unlike any other in any other industry, and you could really create your own way. But what I would say is be patient and be methodical and learn as much as you can. Get immersed in your craft, learn, ask questions, network, and continue to hone your skills, because whatever it is that you build upon at a very early stage will serve you really well going forward. And food and beverages is a great path for anyone to begin with.
I think you just have to put yourself out there to experience different facets of the industry. Apply for jobs working front of the house. Apply for jobs working back of the house. When you have a well-rounded purview, I think, of a business, of an industry or a career that you're thinking about, you should know all the different, not all, but many different facets, so that you can really kind of hone in on exactly where it is that you think you fit. Because one of the other things about tourism, and I think the hospitality industry, is that you don't have to work for a CUB. You can also work in HR. You can also be a person that loves social media and social media platforms. So there's just so many different ways that you can create a career for yourself. But I would say you have to put yourself out there. You have to be interested in learning more and working. You know, the best thing is to actually experience what it is that you're learning.
I think the singular thing that I would say is to be hungry. And what that means is come hungry, of course, but it really means realize you don't know very much. TV is TV, and it's not real life, it's not real kitchen, it's not day-to-day. The hours and weekends and things that go into it. But overall, taking it upon yourself to control your destination. If you want to sit back and be passive, other people are going to pass you up and take the jobs and the careers that you want. But if you're hungry, people see that, and they start investing in you more than you thought they would or could. And that's what really transitions your growth from a trajectory that's going very slow to jumping a little bit faster because you've worked harder to get there. And those are the jobs worth having. And those are the ones that get you where you want to be as a professional and as an adult eventually down the road. So be hungry and be humble.